Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my parents' basement in the great state of Kansas. And I went out and got some more physical media, some vinyl, some CDs, some DVDs, all that. So I did that the other day. Also, a friend of mine, Robscure YouTube channel, sent me another box of CDs. So I'll have an opening of that as well on here. So first to get to what I bought the other day, I went to two stores. I went to Vintage Stock, which is in the Town East Mall in Wichita. I used to go to Vintage Stock in Kansas City area and really enjoyed it. They had a lot of good used like vinyl and also DVDs and CDs and all that. The Vintage Stock that in Town East Mall, unfortunately, has not very good selection of vinyl. Most of the vinyl was like newer vinyl that was like 40-50 bucks. I feel like vinyl. So I was like, wow. Like I went to Vintage Stock because I would find used vinyl for like $5-6 or something like that. And I found two vinyls there that for like $6-7 a piece, and some CDs as well. So, but not a very good selection for buying vinyl. A lot of CDs though. If I want CDs, I think I'll have to look more at the CD section next time. And also they have a more of a DVD section, I think, at this one. So if I want to search more for DVDs and stuff like that, I might go back. There's some other music record stores I want to visit to in the near future, see what they have. I also went to Barnes& and Nobles and looked at their music and movie section to see if there's anything there, and found a couple things there as well. And then, yeah, so those are two places I went. So I'm going to show some DVDs I got. I got this at Barnes& and Nobles. This is The Robe. I want to say it came out in the 50s era. It's kind of a one of those big kind of biblical epic movies with Richard Burton and Gene Simmons. And really good movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I've always wanted to get this. Kind of dealing with the aftermath of Jesus dying on the cross, and this Roman soldier gets his robe, but it has like a curse on it. Anyways, and he finds Peter from the Bible and kind of converts to Christianity. So as a Christian, I really enjoy the story, and Richard Burton's great. And yeah, it's a really cool epic story. Obviously not real, but yeah, so excited to get into this. It looks like it has a lot of cool special features on it. That should be great. I'm getting more and more into old TV shows and watching them, some of the classics. And so this is one I've been wanting to watch, and that is Get Smart. This is season 1 of the sitcom from the 60s period. It was created by Mel Brooks and what's his name? Let's see, Buck Henry. Buck Henry, if you know, he wrote The Graduate, and he was a funny actor, and he wrote some stuff. And of course, Mel Brooks, was famous. This was before I think he got real famous though as a writer and director. But so they created this TV show, which is kind of almost a spoof of James Bond in a sense. He's a secret agent, but he's a bit of a buffoon at times. The main actor there, I think his name is like Don Adams or something like that. I used to watch this as a kid. In fact, I love this. It was one of my favorite sitcoms that I grew up watching anyway. So I got season 1 right now, and watch this and hopefully get the other seasons. It's been hard to finding this, actually. I couldn't find this at the other Vintage Stock that I used to go to. So it was really great getting to see this, and I'm excited to view into this and get some nostalgia from that. In the CD section, I decided to get the Beatles, Past Masters, Volumes 1 and 2. Yeah, it's a must own, I think, for a Beatles fan. Get all the singles that came out in the UK that aren't on any album. So you get all 13 UK / the 1 US album, the 12 UK albums and the 1 US album, and then you get these two, and you basically mostly complete your list. I also need to get the blue and red kind of best of albums and the anthology series at some point. But always good to add more Beatles in back. Speaking of Beatles, I got more Beatles that I actually picked up as well. Some of the old US Beatle albums they've kind of are redoing, and so they're coming out again. So these aren't originals. I got these at Barnes& and Nobles, and this is Meet the Beatles, which is like the first Capitol Records album of the Beatles. And it's probably the most well-known U.S. album because it had I Want to Hold Your Hand on it, which was the first #1 hit in America. And I Want to Hold Your Hand wasn't on any albums in the UK. It was just a single. So this was a huge, huge single in the US, and they put it on the album. So that's why the album was absolutely huge when it came out in the US. So, but it has a lot of great stuff on here from like the first two albums, I think, in the UK. Please Please Me with the Beatles kind of adds all those here. I mean, you got I Saw Her Standing There, This Boy, Won't Be Long. This first side is really good. All I Gotta Do and All My Love. And the first side really good. Second side not nearly as good, but still so happy to get this. Even though it's not original, I'd love to get original, but this will have to do for now. I can add it to my collection. Also added Beatles 65, another U.S. album that came out in the U.S. 65, so I'm guessing this is around. This is basically Beatles for Sale. We didn't get Beatles for Sale in America, so we got Beatles 65, which has a lot of Beatles for Sale songs on here, like No Reply, I'm a Loser, Babies in Black, Rock and Roll Music, I'll Follow the Sun, Mr. Moonlight. All side one is all Beatles for Sale. Even got Honey Don't, Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby, really terrible songs. But then you get two really great singles here, I Feel Fine and She's a Woman, which aren't on any UK album. So that's kind of a good selling point. And actually has some really good songs from Beatles for Sale. They're two worst songs, but has some of their best stuff as well. So again, this isn't original, but definitely I'm trying to get all the US albums. So I've got a number of them now. Most of them are originals and those aren't, but also excited to see this at Barnes & Nobles, and that is Etta James's At Last. When we went through our top 10 favorite albums every decade, starting with 1960, this was my favorite album of 1960. Not a lot of great albums coming out from that era. Sorry, I heard a noise. Not a lot of great albums coming from the early 60s, so this is definitely a highlight, and I think Nick from Towns of Fire 5 agreed with me. This is one of the best albums of the early 60s. And I've never been a big Etta James person necessarily, but she has such an incredible voice. At Last is a great song. Also, I Just Want to Make Love to You is a great song. Definitely want to check out because we don't talk a lot about albums from that early period, kind of before the Beatles, but this is one of the few ones I would highly recommend anybody listening to. And because it's Barnes & Nobles, we get a colored disc. We get a red, nice kind of ruby, candy red, whatever you want to call it. Nice color there. But yeah, and this is an album I've looked at Amazon, and I feel like I've had a hard time finding, like, last time I looked on Amazon, like, they didn't have any for sale or something like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, when am I ever get? This was the only copy I saw at Barnes & Noble, so I was like, I gotta get it, because I don't know when I'm going to see it again. I got two used albums from Vintage Stock. These are the only two that I saw and they were again used, so they were only for like $7 a piece. So a really good deal. I got Cher's Heart of Stone album from like the late 80s period. This is probably her biggest album, maybe most well-known album. This I actually heard it for the first time because of our album exchange, which I'm actually doing right after this video. I'm doing another album exchange with Jacob, Martin, and Adam from What the Gym. So this will probably be posted after I do the album exchange, but one of our, I think it was maybe, I don't know if it was the last, it might have been the last album exchange, I can't remember. Briar from Briar's Music Showcase, he did, this was the album that he brought to our album exchange, and I was really wanting him to share, and I really like this album. I gave it 9.5 out of 10. I haven't heard, there's only Cher album I've heard so far. Really great album, really highly recommend it. It has my favorite Cher song on it, If I Could Turn Back Times. That is such a great song. But also the last song, After All, is a great duet between her and Peter Cetera from Chicago. That is an awesome duet. But a lot of good stuff here, including, just like Jesse James is also a kind of popular song here. Heart of Stone's the title song. Love on the Rooftop I really liked. Emotional Fire I really liked as well. But yeah, overall, really good album. So it's so interesting how I hear these albums because my friends recommend them in the album exchange, and then I see them at a store, and I'm like, oh, I just heard this album. So that's kind of cool to be able to pick up this album not long after I've actually heard it for the first time. Next album, I actually never heard this album before, so it was a blind buy. This is American Fool by John Cougar, or as we call him, John Mellencamp. He went by John Cougar, I guess. Never heard the album before, but it has two songs I really like from John Mellencamp, and that is Hurt So Good and Jack and Diane. Jack and Diane is my favorite song of his. Amazing song. Hurt So Good was also big. Those are two huge hits from him. So based on those two huge hits, I bought the album thinking this must be like a big album of his. It has two huge hits on it. I took it on a limb. When I hear it, hopefully I can tell you if it's good or not. So hopefully anybody in the chats, if you know the album, tell me if you think it's a good album. If it's a good blind buy. All right, now I'm gonna go to my box of CDs that my friend Rob, like I said, from Robscure, great YouTube channel, great guy from New York, always buys me CDs. I'm so appreciative of him. So I'm gonna open it up and we'll see what's inside. All right, I just opened up the box, and so we're gonna pull them out and see what all we got. All right, first album. And this is one that he told me he was going to buy me, so I knew this was coming. And this is Tracy Chapman's debut album. It came out in like 89, so it's like barely came out in the late 80s. A very, acoustic guitar singer-songwriter type album, which I love those kind of albums. And it has her huge hit, Fast Car, which is great. Has one of the best acoustic kind of riffs that go throughout that. Really makes that song. See, I know I've heard a lot of these songs already, and anyway, so yeah, album I've really wanted to get actually, so I'm kind of happy he got that for me. Very happy that he bought me that. And then we got Three Dog Night, Joy to the World, their greatest hits. Okay, so it's Three Dog Night greatest hits album. Yeah, I like a lot of their hits. I want to say, I don't know, it's from the 70s period, a lot of their stuff. Of course, you got Joy to the World. One is probably my favorite song of theirs. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever... Yeah, great song. Old Fashioned Love Song, it's great. See, Black and White, I think I know that song. Never Been to Spain, I know it was like a #1 hit for them. Those are the big ones I know of. So yeah, I don't mind having some Three Dog. I don't have any Three Dog Night, so definitely an album I think I'll enjoy. Oh, we got Elton John love songs. Actually, when I was at Vintage Stock, I think I saw this there. I think it was a vinyl. I think I saw it like on vinyl, but they were wanting like $40 for it or something. So I was like, forget it. I wouldn't mind having this one, but big fan of Elton John. So this is kind of a compilation album of his love songs. Let's see, Can You Feel the Love Tonight from Lion King. One of my favorite Disney songs of all time. Daniel, love that song. Great song. Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Your Song, my favorite Elton John song from his self-titled album. Yeah, love Your Song, so good. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. The Duet George Michael, which I think I just heard the other day on Spotify. Yeah, great song. Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word. Candle in the Wind. And then he ended with Circle of Life. So he begin with Lion King song, he end with the Lion King song. So yeah, this is a great compilation album. Definitely would love to have this. So like I said, I think I saw it at Vintage Stock, and I was like, would love to have that. All right, got Billy Joel Turnstiles, another Billy Joel. I just finished his documentary the other day on HBO Max. It's a two-part documentary, and really good stuff. I really learned a lot about Billy Joel, and we actually been going through Billy Joel albums on Soundlab Studios, my friend Scott's channel, and we just reviewed this album actually recently, because this was the last album we actually reviewed on this channel. This is kind of the first that kind of, I think people feel like this. I think it's actually a bit of a turning point for his career, where I think the albums after this get really, really good with The Stranger, which I have on CD actually, and 52nd Street, Glass Houses, some really good stuff. This only has really one big hit, New York State of Mind. My favorite song though, Say Goodbye to Hollywood's my favorite song on here. I think it's a really good song. So yeah, I think that's my second Billy Joel album I've gotten so far. I need to get more Billy Joel. All right, we got some John Denver, 16 biggest hits. I'm a big John Denver fan, so, and maybe Rob knows that. I don't know. That's kind of a pull out kind of CD here. Okay, kind of pull it out like that. Yeah, and I've got 3 of his albums, my 3 favorite albums of his, and I have a like greatest hits album of his as well. So it's gonna have more of the same probably, but still great stuff. Looking at it, yeah, it has all the big hits. Probably has some different stuff than what I have though, so I'm always no problem. I'll definitely give this a listen. Love John Denver. All right, okay, we get the very best of Linda Ronstadt. CD form here. Yeah, she's got some really good stuff. I have like a Grace Hits on vinyl, like she has like a 2. She has 2, I think, and I've got the first one of that. So this looks like 21 songs, so it probably has more stuff than what I have already. And that's all I really know. I think I have a Linda Ronstadt album that Rob actually bought me. I forget the name of it. A while ago, he bought me that album, actually. But she has a really great voice. Definitely someone I need to listen to more. Heat Wave is pretty good for her. See, You're No Good. It's a good song. It's a hit song for her. Different Drum is a good. She has a lot of good cover songs, I think. Yeah, like Tracks of My Tears, great cover. That'll Be the Day. Ooh, Baby, Baby. Long, Long Time is probably my favorite song from her. I think that's a great piano kind of love ballad, maybe. And her voice is so good on that. That's probably my favorite of hers. Yep. So, yep. Linda Ronstadt. Yeah, definitely one of those great female artists I haven't listened to a lot. Just a couple of their great hits. Okay, we got Joan Osborne. How Sweet It Is, which I believe she was a kind of a 90s singer that I want to say. Has Axis Bold of Love on here, which is a Jimi Hendrix song. And The Wait. I don't know if that's a cover of the band song. So I don't really know any of these songs. I'm pretty sure this is a person. Hopefully I'm correct saying this. This is a person that her hit song was What If God Was One of Us? The What If God Was One of Us, which was a huge, huge hit in like the 90s period, which was a really good song. I think this is the singer, so I've only known like one of her songs, so definitely an artist. Yeah, I'd like to hear more of her stuff. Okay, then we end with Crowded House. I don't see an album name. I don't know what is an album or what is this. I mean, is it a studio album? Is it greatest hits? It doesn't say either way. Actually, I've heard a couple of Crowded House songs recently and want to hear more of them. Actually, so it's funny. So that's one of those bands that I was kind of going through the years and trying to, come up with my top 10 for each decade. I mean, top 10. Sorry, top 10 albums for each year. So I've been trying to listen to as much stuff as I can because there's a lot of stuff I haven't heard out there. And I think I came across Crowded House and they had some really good songs. So I have them on my list. So like, I need to listen to more Crowded House albums. I don't know if I remember any of these songs. Were any of the big ones I know, but I don't know. And I can't remember what their big hits are, but I know they had some big hits that I really like. So definitely, yeah, funny enough, and a band I'm planning on listening to more of, maybe in the future here when I get time. So I don't know if maybe this is just a self-titled album, Crowded House. Someone can tell me, or I'll look it up after this, anyways. But yeah, cool. Thank you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 8 CDs from Rob. So thank you so much, Rob, for more to add to my collection to listen to. I've got a number of other CDs I bought recently that I need to listen to as well. Some that Adam got me. So thank you so much to Rob from Robscure for that gift. I really appreciate it. And yeah, that's what I got. Just let me know in the comments what you think. Anything stands out to you, let me know. Besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. Thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate y'all and I hope you have a good day.